Hello everyone, and welcome to today's build. So this is going to be a speed build, and I am actually building a shell challenge for today. So this is the shell that I am trying to take on. So this is from the Absurd Koala, and this is what she called I think it's a complex shell. So she did an easy one, which I think I have already posted on the channel, and then she did a complex one, and they were both really large. But this one was tricky. Now, with shell challenges, you're not allowed to touch the exterior walls. So I really stuck to that and did not change anything about the exterior walls. I didn't even add things to the exterior walls. I made things around it, but I didn't use any walls to, actually prop things up. So what I'm actually doing at the moment is I'm creating false columns. So I'm using the Eco Lifestyle vertical wall thingies and creating false columns. And what I'm actually going to do is go around and do that all around the house. So I did skip over that process. I showed you a little bit of what I did, but that was pretty long and tedious as far as the process goes. But I created a whole lot of false columns around the house, and because there was kind of like some half columns and that sort of thing, and I kind of felt like I couldn't add any exterior walls to the build as part of the shell challenge, so I didn't. I just created false walls instead, using trickery and creativity, as is my way. Like, if there's a way to bend the rules, I'll find it and I'll do it. So I used the trickery of the vertical wall panels from the Eco Lifestyle to create those checkerboard columns that you see all around the house. I'm going with a modern look because I felt like the checkerboard columns actually suited the modern look, and I went with a hipped roof. I did actually try out the gable style roof as well, and I actually liked both, but I decided to just go with the hipped roof. I not for any particular reason. I don't know. Maybe I thought that looked a tiny bit better, but I thought the gable roof version actually looked really good as well. So yeah, 6 of one, half a dozen the other at the end of the day. So what I'm doing at the moment is putting in the windows. So because it is a modern build, I am thinking about natural light and how that's a really big thing in your contemporary and your modern builds. So making sure that I've got lots of windows and lots of light coming in. And I'm using the Greenhouse Haven doors because those are awesome doors. And yeah, that's about what I'm doing there. So I am thinking about the colours on the house. So I'm actually doing something a little bit different because I quite often don't do this, where I'm using stone on the bottom and I'm using clapboard on the top. So that's something a little bit different for me because I don't do that a lot. So I mixed it up a little bit by doing that. Now you're probably thinking, what on earth are you doing, Velvet? Good question. So I don't know why I had this in my head. I really don't know why, but I had this idea in my head that I wanted to create this floating platform on a lake. So this is kind of what I am trying to do right now and figuring out. I skipped over some of the figuring out because it did take me a little while just to play around and just work out how I was actually going to do this, because I kind of wanted to have it as stepping stones going across the lake, but I couldn't really get the stepping stone effect the way that I wanted it. So I actually decided to do like just an underwater platform. So like the idea is that this is actually functional as well, by the way. So you can see my sim there, she's on the floating platform. So I'm just fixing up the stairs at this point. But yeah, I did make it functional. So this is going to be like a functional floating platform and pool area on this little lake. So I couldn't get it to look the way that I wanted it to look, with kind of stepping stones going across. Because, yeah, I think it just kind of made the Sims kind of go up and down, up and down, up and down. It didn't work. It's not like the Sims could actually, skip from stone to stone to stone to stone. So, yeah. I figured it would just, maybe I'll do an underwater thing and just like, it's just the illusion of it being a floating platform off by itself. There's no other way. Maybe the Sims could walk through the water. I mean, either way, they were going to have to walk through the water to get to the platform. So I figured let's just have a little slightly underwater platform to get there, sort of floating kind of things. You know, sometimes I just come up with these concepts. I don't know whether or not I always pull them off, but it's actually fun just trying to work out the concept and making it work and how it's all going to come together. I mean, I think it worked okay. Maybe there was a better way to do it. I don't know, but that's how I did it. That's how I did it. And just this idea in my head of like this floating platform that the Sims could like lie on after they've been in the pool or whatever on a nice sunny day, and yeah, they can just hang out on the platform. Funnily enough, it was actually because I had to adjust some of the heights of the terrain. It actually stuffed up the front door area. And I do skip over this, but I ended up having to play around with that front door area for ages, trying to get it to actually, work properly because of the way that I changed the terrain, and it just like put it out this smidge, and it was just driving me nuts trying to work it out. But then I couldn't like bulldoze it, or I didn't want to start again because I'd finally got the lake right, and I was just kind of like really annoying. Anyway, as you can see there, I went really green on the landscaping and did a lot of greenery around the place, and then I'm just about to play around and get the pool into this area here. So I'm just working on that right now, just getting the pool in there and how that's all sort of going to go. So I just needed it to connect to the platform, so just working that out, and I just wanted it to look basically like it was part of the lake, was kind of the idea I was going for. I still wanted to have like a little entrance area so that you can still get into the pool, but yeah, so you can sort of see my Sim swimming around in the pool there, so it is fully functioning. And then I'm just sort of changing the color of the water and just making it sort of kind of green, and then I'm changing the color of the pool as well, just to make it sort of look more like it blends in, that sort of thing. That's kind of the idea anyway. So I felt like I kind of pulled it off. It was quite cool. I liked it. Just something a little bit different for me. I find that with shell challenges, I do tend to get like a little bit more experimental. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why. I just do. So I did. I just went like a little bit more experimental. Oh, this is me playing around with the front door. So I did skip over this, most of this playing around. I eventually worked out, a little alternative, and then, it's just like, ugh. I wanted to put like an edging around it, but the edging wasn't working, and it just, things. So anyway, moving on to that, more of the landscaping. So I'm using the tall sort of cypress trees for the most part around the place, and from Debug. Now, I'm pretty certain this is from Cottage Living. This is the Cottage Living Debug bush that I really, really like. It's really good for just edging around paths and things, like the lake and stuff like that. So that's what I've used. Oh, now this, I'm just doing a little sunroof, flat roof sunroof area. So if you're interested in this, what I did is I just created a flat roof using fencing, and then from the Island Living set, there is a thing called Crystal Clear, which is actually supposed to be, I think, flooring. So that, like in Solani, you can put flooring, you can put like a deck down, and then you can use that crystal clear flooring so that you can see through the deck to the water below. But if you're like me, you can actually use that crystal clear flooring on flat roofs, and then that creates a sunroof. So that actually, that's a little open sunroof area, but it's covered, which is quite cool. So that's a really cool way to do a flat roof sunroof. That's a bit of a mouthful. So at the moment, I am just working on the exterior furnishing because I think the landscaping is done. I'm just doing a little bit of finishing around the place, and I'm using the patio stuff pack. So that's going to be black and white. So I'm going quite monochrome in terms of the colouring of the house. So I kind kind of feel like modern lends itself towards going with those neutral colors, or those monochrome colors. So your blacks, your whites, your browns. So yeah, really neutral colors does work really nicely with a contemporary home. And I actually am going to go with like a lot of black in this. So it was actually fun working out how to put black into the house but keep it from looking dingy, because obviously, you know, you don't want it to be looking dingy. But I do feel like black is quite a luxe kind of vibe, style or color to use when you're looking at furnishing in the house. And it is a 3-level build, which is quite interesting. So I'm just doing the last of the windows up on the top of the build, and I think we're just about ready to come inside. So I did something really different. I don't do this very often in builds, and I think I actually kind of stuffed it up, so I didn't do it quite right, but I had a learning experience with it anyway, because I don't do these very often. But I actually created an open floor, so you can see what's sort of being deleted there. So I've kind of got in that entrance area, I'm just putting up the chandelier. So I think I needed to put like a 3rd floor sort of ceiling, because in that part of the house there's only the 2 levels, and then in the back part of the house there's the 3rd level. But I needed to create a false 3rd level, I think, there, if that makes sense, so that I could actually hang the ceiling stuff up properly and have the ceiling blocked off. Anyway, sorry, jibber jabbing. I worked it out afterwards, how I needed to do it to actually make it work properly, because I don't think I did it right. I did muck around with this for a while, just trying to figure out how I was going to get it to work, but then yeah. It wasn't until like later that I realized how I should have done it. Anyway, it still works fine. It looks fine. So yeah, so like this really big chandelier and this really fancy open area, because I decided that I actually wanted to go quite luxe in this. I don't know why. I just kind of felt like, you know, this is a big house. So I didn't like go overboard with like lots of furnishings and lots of clutter or anything like that. My whole mindset for this was I wanted to go more minimalized but fancy. So, you know, because I think like a lot of the time when you're looking at luxe house, with the exception of perhaps a maximalist style house, but even then, when you're looking at luxe houses, they're usually quite simple in the way that they're put together. So you'll have like little areas. So you'll have like a little, maybe a book nook area, or like a little entertainment seating area. And they're simply done, but it's like just really nice furnishings. So, you know, they're really curated pieces. And that's kind of more of the vibe I was going for with this house than putting in lots of pieces of things, if that makes sense. Like I do tend towards doing more things, less like more is more kind of thing. Whereas I went with, I don't know, it's just playing around with the concept of less is more in this build. So in terms of the house itself, so you can sort of see it coming together there. So we're going to have like the big entranceway, and then that'll flow through to a living area, and there's going to be a little bathroom in there. And then it'll flow through to the kitchen. So there's going to be a separate kitchen dining. The living is going to be separate, but it's going to be like an open door. So kind of open plan. And then, yeah, so kitchen dining right at the back. And you've got the living with a little bathroom in the middle. And then you've got a really, you know, your big, bold, luxe entrance area at the front. And then upstairs, we're going to have a gym and 2 bedrooms, and I want to say at least 1 bathroom. And then on the top floor, we've got a bathroom and a bedroom. So I think it's 3 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms. So, yeah, as I said, we're going to go monochrome. So I'm using a lot of the black and white paintings, or the grey paintings, because it doesn't come up under black if you are doing a filter search from Get Famous. And I'm using things like the metals. So, you know, that really nice metal stuff that you get with Growing Together. So I thought about those. And also the Dream Home decorated chairs with the curves. So I'm going to use those as well. And so they're going to be sort of like your entrance / this is kind of our home. Welcome to our home, isn't it fancy kind of area. You know, that's kind of the vibe I was going for there. So it's pretty simple as far as furnishing goes, which I did say I was going to do. So I didn't like crowd heaps of plants in, you know, just like kept it to like little areas that are simple but nicely done. That was the whole idea of it. I'm using the Book Nook kit chairs, I believe. And as I said, the growing together metal table. No. Yes, those are growing together ones, aren't they? I think the Modern Luxe actually works really nice with this as well. Well, obviously the Modern Luxe. You're thinking Modern Luxe? Well, this is a modern home and it is luxurious. So that makes sense. So we have moved on to the downstairs bathroom. So as I said, using a lot of the growing together with the metals and stuff, because I think that the metals do lend themselves towards that luxe sort of feel. Pretty simple as far as it goes. And as I said, we're just going to stick with the monochrome, black and white. And yeah, mix it up with like little pops of contrast. So maybe the browns, maybe the metals, you know, that sort of thing. Is how I'm bringing that little touch of contrast colour in. And I think maybe I bring in little bits of colour around the place as well. And then the bedrooms I get a little bit more colourful too. So I am creating a little study area. I do end up changing that desk. I think I just changed to the high school years desk, but otherwise I keep this as this cute little area. I don't know, I just felt like creating like a cute little study area. I thought that would be cool. So I'm just putting in little bits and pieces of clutter, and then I think I'm going to do, yeah, I'm going to do like a little shelf here as well. I thought the area sort of lent itself to another shelf going in there just to mix it up a little bit. I love doing my custom bookshelves. Sometimes I get to the point where I've been doing so much shelving when I've been building that I dream about it. I just dream about making shelves, and it's just like I just don't want to be dreaming about making shelves because it's just like click and drag, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. Anyway. So we're going to have like that little study area, and I will end up, I think, moving that chess set more over towards the study area. And then I'm just doing like a couple of little bits of seating area. So you can sort of see in the background there the desk that I changed the study desk to. And I was originally going to put the TV area there, but then I had a change of mind and decided I wanted to put a fireplace in, but I didn't want to put a fireplace in the middle of the lounge. I wanted to put it to the side. So yeah, so I'll put that off to the middle, and then I'm going to put a fireplace in, and then I'm going to actually change the wall just to give it like, you know, that sort of, quite often when you put fireplaces in, you will do a different medium as far as the flooring and the walls behind it, just to, like, you know, like you don't going to have wood around a fire on the floor if you can help it, because that's just kind of a fire hazard. Because what if there's a spark or something and it lands on the flooring and it's wood flooring, and then suddenly you're like, poof, 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 it's a fire everywhere, panic. Yeah. So that's why I quite often like to put stone around around fireplaces, and I think I just use the Jungle Adventure stone for that. So I have switched around, and instead of doing a TV in that area, I've just done like the hall table from the Desert Luxe kit, I think, with the plant. And then so I'm just doing in sort of the social area. So we did like an area around the fire, we've done a study area, and now we're doing a little socializing area. And oh yeah, the TV's above the fire, by the way, as well. So, you know, that's your TV/fire area. And then this is more your socializing area here in the middle. So you invite people over and you have a sit around here and you chitty chatter and, you know, maybe have a beverage, that sort of thing. So that's coming together. So now we are moving on to the kitchen and dining. So that is the living room done just like that. Because as I said, I was keeping it fairly simple as far as furnishing goes. Because I wanted to really emphasize more sort of curated areas and curated pieces of furniture. That's kind of the vibe, rather than having lots and lots of different things. So I'm just creating, this is going to be a little coffee area. So doing the coffee tea, so you've got your coffee maker, your kettle, and your waffle maker, and a little tea set above there. And I'm doing like a little kitchen island in the middle because I felt like there was going to be a big space otherwise, because it's quite a long space, this kitchen/dining area. So I just kind of needed to add something else in there just to make it not look like it was, yeah, super empty. And I do love me the Home Chef Hustle kitchen. I just when I'm thinking luxe kitchens, that's the one I go to, because it is absolutely lovely. Yeah, it's a lovely, and I mean it fits so nicely together as well. So that's part of why it makes such a lovely kitchen, is because it looks modern and it just slots in so nicely together. It's a well thought out kitchen set, and I love that. So I'm just going to add some little bits and pieces of clutter around the place, just to give it a little bit of life, because obviously we still need some clutter because it does get lived in. It's not a show home, it is a family home that is lived in. So we're going to add a little bit of clutter there. Not everything is going to be kept perfectly hidden away in a in a cupboard, as much as it might be nice. She says longing leave, looking around her house where things are not put away in a cupboard because she has children. Dining area. So I decided to go with a round one, and I'm just flicking through the colours and what I'm going to do there. And I'm using the Jungle Adventure table because that's my favourite table. And I'm just using actually base game chairs. So I think those are the ones by Hey Harry, the little chairs by Hey Harry. And because I ended up going brown on the dining table, that made me change the kitchen around. Well, I didn't change the kitchen at all. I just changed the colour of it because I thought the brown actually worked a lot better in the space. So I decided to go with a nice rich dark brown for the furnishings there. And obviously we're going to be looking at little touches of black on like the windows, the doors, and like the rubbish bin and the furnishings and stuff like that. Not the furnishings, the little bits of extra pieces around the place. We're going to bring the touches of black in there for the monochrome. But yeah, it's quite a brown kitchen, which I think is nice. And I just put an armchair in there because quite often if you have toddlers and stuff and they want to sit down and eat, and you can't be bothered, if you're me and doing the parenting, you can't be bothered actually putting the toddler into the high chair, then they can just sit on an armchair in the dining area and chitty chat with the rest of the family from there. And I'm just making up a little triptych, cute little cupcakey picture thing up there. So that's the downstairs done. Easy as that. So let's move upstairs, and we are doing the Dream Home decorated couch again. I'm just adding some of the Modern Luxe cushions because I always forget about them, and I was like, oh, I remembered about them for once. So I was like, I'm going to put them on. And so this is just going to be a little upstairs living area. So, if the family wants to hang out upstairs and yes, have a nice little area to sit down upstairs, then yeah, they've got one. So that room there that I was just in front of, that's going to be the gym, and there's going to be a large bathroom in the middle, and then there's going to be two other bedrooms in this area here as well. So just working on, as I said, black and white paintings because we're going with monochrome around the place. There will be, as I said, pops of colour in some of the bedrooms, so you'll see some of the colour coming into it there. For most of the furnishings, it's going to be sort of very neutral and black and white as far as the colours go. So just adding in a touch of the metal with growing together. And oh yeah, and we had like a little second TV area up here. So this is what I'm about to start creating here. So we're going to have the downstairs TV area, which I feel like is more of the social / entertainment area when you have people over. And I feel like this is more of the family kind of hangout area. So like the kids and stuff, like if the parents are entertaining, then they can come upstairs and just hang out upstairs and still be able to watch TV and stuff while their parents are down. Maybe they've got a couple of friends over and they're watching a movie together, or sports ball, or whatever. So yeah, that makes sense to me, like in a family home, that you would have a couple of TVs in different areas so the kids can go and hang out when the parents want some parent time. So this area is kind of evolving. Like I had to change the colors around a bit because I kind of did it in a couple of different colors, and then I was like, that's not really working. So I ended up just changing the seat to black, and then the decor to the Max chairs to the cream, and I felt like that sort of worked a little bit nicer with the metal on the bottom of those chairs. It just worked really nicely as well. So that's the bathroom, and then this is going to be the gym there. I was initially going to do 4 bedrooms, and I was like, you know what? maybe I don't want to do 4 bedrooms. Maybe I want to do a gym instead. So at this point I was going to do 4 bedrooms, but I do later change my mind and decide to do a gym instead. Just, I don't know, mix it up. It's the kind of house where you feel like people would maybe have like a gym. You know, fancy people. Not like me. I'm not fancy. So this will be a little bit of an evolution as well in terms of the colours and stuff. I'll just slowly work it out. It's just one of those things where once you work it out, you're off and away. But I was just kind of working out what colour counters and stuff I wanted in the room and what colours it was going to be in the bathroom, if I was going to have pops of colour and that sort of thing, or if I was going to stick with the neutral palette. So I am at this point looking at adding sort of shades of brown with the black in the room, the black and the white in the room. So this is me just working that out at the moment and what colours I'm going to bring in. So as I said, this is a large bathroom, so I popped the laundry in there as well because I felt like I always forget laundries and I should put one in. As you do. I mean, you know, this is not a limited pack build, so there's no excuse for me not to have a laundry in it, to be honest. So I did. I put a laundry in. So yay me. I remembered. So I've done, this is the first of the bedrooms. So this is going to be a double bedroom. So this might be for a teenager or something like that. Or it could be a guest bedroom or a butler bedroom. Whatever you like, really. But, yeah, as I said, I kind of treated this more as a guest bedroom. Like, I didn't put heaps of personality into this one. Whereas I think the other rooms kind of had a little bit more personality. Like, you could kind of sort of get an idea. But, again, this is sort of like a modern sort of more... Oh, I did put an easel in there, so it is an artsy kind of person. But, yeah, because I went simple on the clutter, I felt like it sort of was more show-homey than personality when it came to this build. I sort of felt, you know, yeah, sort of the personality of it is like these are wealthy people with good taste. That's kind of what I was thinking. Wealthy people with good taste. There we go. So I'm doing a second double bedroom. I actually didn't do any kids' rooms, but there could be kids' rooms in here, or it could just be like, you know, a couple of teenagers' rooms where their mum is, you know, into design and stuff, and they just have the rooms how she designs them, that kind of thing, rather than having a lot of their own personality in it. But hey, that's the whole point. You move in and you make it your own, right? So you can add like posters on the walls, you can change the beds, you can do whatever you like with it. So just adding some little bits and pieces of clutter to our dressing area. And this one, when I mentioned a little bit of colour, this is probably the most colourful room in the house, because I decided to bring in shades of orange to this one just to mix it up a little bit, because why not? I feel like you do have, like when you're decorating a house, I feel like the shared areas, they're more likely to have a common theme as far as the colours go. But when you get to the bedrooms, I feel like you can actually go a little bit more personalised and a little bit more personality. So, you know, you can bring in different colours and stuff that might not be in the rest of the house. So that's kind of my feeling on bedrooms, is that you can go a little bit more unique on those, whereas the rest of the house, it should be more cohesive. But, you know, the bedrooms still need to be cohesive with how the house is. So, you know, it's still got to be that modern vibe, and you still got to have, you know, some of that monochrome stuff, but you can bring more of the personality in by bringing, you know, slightly different colours and that sort of thing to each of the rooms. So, yeah, that's kind of my thought process on decorating bedrooms and stuff anyway. Whether or not I stick to it, I don't know. But, you know... I try to. Well, that's kind of generally how I think about it anyway. So in the gym, I actually decided to create like a little walk-in shower area as well, because I figured that kind of made sense. I was initially going to have the treadmill in front of the window, so like they would jog in front of the window, enjoy the view, and it's like that doesn't work. So I just put a TV above there. It's like, well, also you would jog and watch the TV, so why not? You just need something to take your mind off the fact that you are jogging. Because if you're jogging, do you really want to be thinking about the fact that you're jogging? personally, no. Like back in the days before I had children and was capable of jogging, I did actually used to jog, and I got to the point where I could actually run 10 kilometers. Can you believe it? Even thinking about it now, I'm just like, how did I even do that? But I did. But as I said, that was before children and before my body gave out on me. I was kind of like, oh, walking is hard. Because there's always some part of you that hurts. It's just like, ankle issues, knee issues, back issues. Ow. Creak. Oh, I'm so old. Anyway, welcome to my life. So anyhow, I decided to put in a rug and like a bit of yoga stuff as well. Because I thought, maybe the mum is really into the gym stuff, the dad's really into the yoga, or one of the kids is really into the yoga, and both the parents is into the gym stuff. I mean, it's a multi-purpose kind of little gym. So this is the upstairs, like the third floor bathroom, so the top floor. And I used a bit of the fitness stuff in this bathroom just to mix it up a little bit. So this one is a little different from the other two bathrooms because I think I went more with the growing together stuff in the other bathrooms, but decided to mix it up in this one just to make it a little bit more personalized, because this is more of the parents' bathroom, if this makes sense. So this is the ensuite for the master bedroom bathroom kind of thing going on here. So it's still color palette wise in keeping with what is going on with the rest of the house, but they kind of had a little bit more of individual pieces going in there. So yeah, this is me realizing I hadn't put laundry baskets in. You know how it is. You get to a point in the build and you're just like, oh, what have I forgotten? I quite often remember, it's actually quite good when I'm doing like the photographs of the build, and I'll go through and I'll photograph and I'll be like, oh, I've forgotten the ceilings again, or oh man, I forgot the rubbish bins again, or as sometimes is the case, oh, I forgot to decorate that bathroom. I didn't forget to decorate any of the rooms in this build though, but I did forget some laundry baskets for a little bit. Yeah, so I'm going with the Modern Luxe kit in the top bedroom. So we're going hard on the Modern Luxe stuff, so just using all that sort of metal trim stuff, the pictures, and all of the lovely stuff that you got with that kit. So I thought I'd bring that into here. So I originally wasn't going to have anything down at that end really, but then I sort of ended up I decided I wanted to actually put the wardrobe down in that corner. So that meant I had to change the bathroom around because I needed to move the door. But once I moved the door, I was able to put the dressing area in along that wall, and that actually worked a little bit better for me in terms of space because of the way that the windows and the curtains worked. It actually was a little bit tricky to get the wardrobes and stuff that I wanted. So I'm actually combining. So these are high school years wardrobes, and I'm using the growing together mirrors. I think those are both growing together. I could be wrong. Definitely the one above the dress is going to be growing together. So they've all got that really nice same metal trim to it in the gold, which I thought was absolutely lovely. So that's a really nice, those are really nice packs to combine because of the way that the metals are. They're matching metals, so it works really nicely. And like the Modern Luxe kit metals actually work really nicely with the growing together metal and the high school years metal as well. So they've actually done those packs really well so that they mesh really well together. So I absolutely love that when you come across those packs that do mesh so well together. Yeah, so I'm just using I think it's a locked desk actually from one of the probably base game, but yeah, it's a locked desk anyway from one of the careers. Maybe Get to Work actually. So it's a really cool desk, and I thought it sort of fit the vibe of the room. And I'm just looking for something for a shelf to sit over in that space because it was a bit of a smaller space than the bookshelf space that I've got there in the middle. But yeah, that's basically our build on the outside, so we can take a tour of what we did. So this is the exterior. As you see, it's sort of come together. We've got the landscaping, plenty of greenery. I didn't really do much, or I didn't do anything really in the way of flowers. I mean, we've got some lilies on the water, but that's about it as the way in the way of flowers. I felt like a modern build like that, it wouldn't be so flowery. It'd be more about the greenery, and because of the lake, and the having the greenery surrounding the lake, it kind of made sense to me just to go with greenery rather than flowers. And I felt like the Sims going in here would be more cultivated, picked flowers in a vase people than garden flower people. So this is our entrance area, so big and airy and light and luxe. Going into our living area, so that's our little socialization seating area. Moving into our fireplace TV area, into our study area, which I think is really nice. And then this is the downstairs bathroom, so this is kind of the guest bathroom. Then moving into the kitchen, which as you can see we went brown on, and into the dining area as well. So then we're moving upstairs, and this is our little lounge area upstairs. So pretty simple, but I think that's kind of the luxe vibe we're going for. So this is the TV, so sort of the family TV area upstairs. This is the first of the 3 bedrooms, and this is the second of the 3 bedrooms. This is the orange one, and it's a second view of the orange one there, which I think is... looks pretty. So then moving into the middle bathroom, so this is with the laundry, so it's the largest of the 3 bathrooms in the house, so there's plenty of space there for the family to do their things in. And then moving to the upstairs bedroom, this is the one that has more of the modern luxe, lots of metals, and it's going quite dark, but I think it doesn't look dark, if that makes sense. I think it's still light enough. And then this is the ensuite bathroom here, using a lot of the fitness stuff pack, which I think is absolutely lovely. And then moving down to the gym, because I forgot to add that in. Thank you so much guys for watching. I hope you had fun with this build, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.